Hi, welcome back to yoga for endometriosis. I hope you enjoyed class 1. In class 2, we're going to be looking at increasing the flexibility in your body. This is something that a lot of you asked for, and it's a really good practice to do because not only does it increase the flexibility in your body, but it actually gets your energy and your chi moving. And when we experience pain, a lot of that is about stagnation in the body. So basically, the energy isn't moving in the body, it gets stuck and we get pain. So this class is not only about increasing your flexibility and giving you that greater ease and space in the body, it's also about moving that energy or chi or prana, whatever you like to call it. So 2 things: increase flexibility, reduce pain. We're going to start off with a warm-up, then we'll move into more dynamic postures. So I want you to take it easy, respect your body, and we'll finish with a gentle progressive muscle relaxation. I hope you enjoy it. We love your feedback. Namaste. Okay, so I'm going to start you off lying down on your mat. And what I want you to do is just lie on your back and have your legs outstretched and your arms outstretched. And just take a couple of deep breaths here. And then you're going to bend your right knee into your body and just take hold of that right knee with your right hand and draw it in towards your body and start to ease out the hip, relax the feet. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then inhale and exhale, gently draw that leg out to the side. Place your hand over your left hip. And just make sure that left hip stays anchored down. Take another deep breath here, opening out the groin and the hip, and then draw the knee back into the belly. And bring it in a little further. And then just release it all the way down to your mat. And take a couple of deep breaths here. Just see if you can feel the difference in the 2 sides of the body. If you can feel those right toes a little bit more relaxed. The angle of the foot turning out a little more. And then when you're ready, draw in your left knee, draw it into the belly. Hold it here. And then gently take that left knee out to the side and just open it out as far as you can. Breathe into the groin. And then inhale and bring that knee back into the body. Draw it in a little further. And then release it down again to your mat. And just enjoy that feeling in the lower back of release. Feeling in the hips and the groin area, just complete release. And then I want you to bring your hands just to the area just below your belly button. In yoga we know this as Svadhisthana chakra or sacral chakra. And I want you to just feel whether it's warm or whether it's cool in that area. And I want you to try and direct your breath to that area. So as you inhale, feel that hand on the belly area rise. And as you exhale, let the hand draw gently back to the spine. See if you can find some movement in this area. And don't worry if you can't, it'll come. I want you to keep practicing this. Just bringing your awareness to this area. If it's cool, we're just trying to increase the blood flow, bring some warmth. And then just release your hands, let them go. Bend your knees into your belly. Make room for your belly if you're feeling swollen or bloated or you have pain. And then just gently rock from side to side and release off the lower back. The lower back is something that can really suffer with endometriosis. We can get a lot of pain. So I want you to just release it. Very gently. And then when you're ready, you're going to roll off to your right hand side. And I want you to take a couple of deep breaths here on your right hand side. And then when you're ready, make your way up to a cat position on all fours. This is me doing my hair, Melly. But I'm going to keep the camera rolling because I don't want any drastic cuts. Okay. Right, so finding your cat position and placing your hands directly underneath your shoulders, make sure that your inner elbows are turned toward one another. And then place your knees directly below your hips. And make sure they're below your hips because we often think that our hips are actually wider than they are. So that's good news for all of us. Okay, when you're ready, I want you to inhale and just open out your throat and try not to dip too much through your lower back. And then exhale and gently curl the tailbone and all the way up through the body and drop the head. Inhale to open the body. And exhale to curl. Inhale to open the body and exhale to curl. Now you probably notice that you can really feel points in your spine of tension, and that's why this pose is so very good. So you can become aware in your body of where the tension is in your spine. We're going to move through this pose a little bit more dynamically now and start to increase the flexibility in the body, which is much better when it's done in a flowing progression. So I want you to just stand on your knees at the end of your mat and just inhale here. Just draw your arms alongside your ears. Breathe into your belly and then fold down. Place your arms out in front of you, extend those arms and drop your forehead to the mat and drop your buttocks back to the heels. And take a deep breath here in extended child's pose. See if you can send the breath into the back of your body and then gently look between your hands and come into that cat pose. Just stretch through your throat. And then exhale, come to a neutral spine, walk your hands forward. Now, this is not a pose I want you to practice if you are menstruating at the moment. But if you are ovulating, this is fine. Tuck your toes under. Come up onto your toes, and we're going to come up into downward dog. Now, downward dog is a really good pose for women with endo, except when they're menstruating, because it's a hormonal balancer. So I'm going to show you the proper way to get into this pose. I want you to drop your knees so that your shins are parallel with your mat. And then lift your hips up towards the ceiling nice and high. And then settle your heels down to your mat. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide. Your inner elbows are turned towards each other. And you soften between your shoulder blades and drop your head. Don't hold your head out. Let it drop. And then hold this pose for a couple of deep breaths and walk through your feet. This is going to release the energy in the backs of the legs. That directly corresponds to your kidney. Inhale and exhale. Sink your heels down here. And then I want you to just drop back into cat. Walk your hands under the shoulders. Uncurl your toes. Stretch through your throat. And then come all the way back to extended child's pose. Okay, we're going to go through that again a little quicker. Inhale, come into cat and stretch through the throat. Exhale, walk your hands forward, tuck your toes under, come back into downward dog. Inhale, drop the knees, uncurl the toes, walk your hands back into cat. And exhale all the way back. Now this is going to create a gentle heat in the body that's going to get your body moving, start that flexibility starting to flow. Again, inhale into cat. Exhale, walk your hands forward, come into downward dog. And this time stay in downward dog because you're going to gently just raise that right leg behind you. Now I can raise my right leg pretty high, but I've been doing yoga for 15 years. So I want you to raise it just as far as you can. And bring your right knee through to your right wrist, like so. And you're going to slide your back leg down, just like that. Now if you need to stay up on your knee, do so. But if you can sink your groin down to the mat, do. And if this is enough for you, stay here. But if you can release it, do. You can have your arms long, or you can rest your forehead on your hands like so. It's completely up to you, but this is going to work into your hip, releasing that hip. Take a few deep breaths here. And then look up and walk your hands back in. Now as women we hold a lot of tension, a lot of emotion in our hips, and that's why it's so important to release them. Curl your back toe, step back to downward dog. Don't worry if it takes you a couple of goes to get that, it can. Inhale and exhale, sink your heels down. Raise your left leg in the air. Bring the left knee through to the left wrist. Slide your back leg down. And again, if it feels good for you, stretch out your arms, release your head. And then walk your hands back up when you're ready. For those of you who are used to practicing yoga, if you want to make this pose a little deeper for yourself, you can now move your leg forward, come into the same pose, and work from there. It's completely up to you. Okay, curl your back toe, step back to downward dog, continue to walk through your feet. Release off the backs of your legs. Inhale and exhale, sink the heels down. Now, this is a choice for you, this pose. You don't have to practice it if it doesn't feel comfortable. It is quite a challenging pose. If you don't, stay in downward dog and you can come from cat to dog if you wish. But otherwise, pick up your right hand and take it over to your left and step your right foot around your right hand. Drop your back knee, uncurl your toes. And just come into a lizard lunge, which is going to open up the groin as well as the hip. Now, if you have the availability, you can come down onto your forearms and interlace your fingers, or otherwise just stay looking straight ahead. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, gently come back up to the hands, step back to downward dog, walk through your feet once more, keep that energy flowing, keep it moving. And inhale and exhale, sink your heels down, step your left hand over to your right, step your left foot around your left hand. Beautiful. Uncurl your toes, drop your knees, come down on your forearms if you did on the other side. Now obviously if you're menstruating, this can be quite a challenging pose and I wouldn't recommend it. And then when you're ready, come back up and come back to downward dog. We're going to hold downward dog, and by this stage you should be feeling a little bit more released in the backs of your legs. Another deep breath here. And then inhale, come up into the toes and drop the knees back down. Uncurl the toes, walk your hands back into cat. Open up through your throat. Curl throughout the body. Inhale and open. And exhale, back to neutral. Now I'm just going to show you a little pose that I normally use with my pregnant students, but which is really, really good for anybody who has pain or issues in this lower abdomen. And if you put your hand to your lower abdomen now, you can probably feel it's quite warm because that energy has started to move. But I want you to take your knees out to the side of the mat. We're going to practice sexy cat. That's its name. I've never found a better one and just describe it quite accurately. But what we're going to do is we're going to gently just circle our hips. Just circling in one direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter. But you're going to really get into those hips. And then come to a neutral spine and circle to the other side. And you can probably feel how that releases the lower back. Bring your knees back together. Extend your arms, drop your elbows, drop your forehead, and just allow the body to just rest and just absorb the benefits of that practice. When you've taken a rest in this position, I want you to just bring your weight into your hands and come into a seated position. This is Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. And with this pose, what we're going to do is we're gently going to interlace our fingers around the toes, or if that doesn't feel comfortable for you or your spine doesn't feel straight, I want you to take hold of your ankles with your index finger and thumb and just gently press the knees away towards the floor. Now if that's comfortable for you, then I want you to drop your elbows down into the crook of your knees and just use the weight of your body to gently open up the hips and the groin area. Couple more deep breaths here. And then gently roll all the way up, back up. Take your hands behind you, and I'm going to turn on my side so you can see what this looks like. Fingertips in towards the body, and then just gently open up your chest and drop your head back. So we're just counterposing that forward bend with a gentle backward bend. And then inhale, come back to center. So far our poses in this class have been concerned with the pelvic area, with the hips, with the groin area and opening it up. But back bends are very good for flexibility too, particularly if you suffer with adhesions. So if you have adhesions from surgeries that you've had or from endometriosis, actually opening up that front of the body can bring you great relief. And we will go through a couple of back bends in our next class. But in this one, we're going to focus on that hip area. So what I want you to do now is take your legs out to the side, just like so. Now this is Upavista Konasana and it can be quite strong. So what I want you to do, if it is strong for you, is just bend up your knees. That is just going to take the pressure off your knees and it's going to tilt your pelvis forward and take the pressure off your lower back. If you'd like to, you can make it easier by actually sitting up on a pillow and that will tilt your pelvis forward. You can flex your feet or you can point your toes. You're going to work with different meridians if you do. So if you flex your feet, you're working with your kidney meridian. If you point your toes, you're working with your stomach. So if you have digestive issues and you want to work with those, certainly point your toes. That would be really good for you. And what we're going to do in this is we're going to actually practice it dynamically because this is quite a strong pose and a very strong groin opener. So I want you to bring your arms nice and long beside your ears and then just inhale here and gently tilt to your right, and I'm going to tilt to my left because I'm going to mirror you. And then inhale, come back up. So don't hold it. Exhale, tilt to the other side. And inhale, come back up like so. Now I'm going to inhale and just gently exhale, fold over that right leg and come back up. And then exhale and fold over the left leg and come back up. Now if that feels okay for you, we're going to stir the bowl. We're going to do 5 rounds to one side. Breathing out as you fold forward, breathing in as you come up. And then we're going to practice to the other side. Or in the other direction, I should say. One more round. And then gently come back to center, release the arms, and then just release the legs and release off that chi by giving the legs a little bit of a bounce. Feel that energy nice and flowing. So again, really, really working with the groin area and opening up the hips. Bringing your legs together now. Paschimottanasana, full forward bend. All about flexibility, this pose. Inhale and reach up, arms long beside the ears. Flex your feet or point your toes, it's up to you. Bend your knees if you're feeling it in your lower back. Fold forward and take hold wherever you can. From this position, I want you to pull up and out of your hips and then gently lower down towards your legs. And just hold it here for 6 deep breaths. So we're actually going to hold this pose. And I want you to really focus on your exhalation, letting go. Trying to release a little more with each breath. And when you're ready to release it, stretch your fingers forward. Come all the way back up and out of the hips. Release. Roll onto your back. And gently hug your knees into your belly. Place your hands over your knees. And then just make small circles on your lower spine. And ease out that lower back. Now, if you're on the heavy days of your period, this practice is not particularly good for you. I'm going to post a full practice for those heavy days of your periods. If you're on the lighter days of your periods, if you get lighter days, then these practices are okay to practice. Reverse those circles. And then when you're ready, I want you to release your legs all the way down to your mat. Your arms nice and long beside your body. And we are going to lie in Shavasana. Now, as with the first class with relaxation, if you prefer to roll onto your side, that's more comfortable for you, then please do. Otherwise, lie on the back, and if you need a couple of pillows, get up and get them now. One for under your head. If you're feeling it in your lower back, pop them under your knees, and pop a blanket over you if you're chilly. So we're going to be here for about 10 minutes, so I want you to just relax, release. Feel the shoulders opening out. Palms facing upwards. Releasing the feet out to the sides. Just taking a few breaths. Just allowing everybody to get the stuff they need. Okay, and gently close your eyes. Allow the weight of your body to sink down into the mat. Finding any points of tension remaining in the body. Allow them to let go, melt away, relax. Bringing your awareness down into the palms of your hands. Release your thumbs, the forefingers, the middle fingers, the ring fingers, the little fingers, forearms, the elbows, the upper arms, and the shoulders. Release the shoulders, let them go. Release the upper chest, middle chest, and the belly. The hips, front of the thighs, back of the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, the heels, soles of the feet, front of the feet, the big toes, next toes, middle toes, next toes, little toes. Release the buttocks, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, back of the neck, back of the skull, front of the skull, the face, the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the lips, the tongue, and the jaw. Soften the jaw, let it go. Soften the front of the neck, the throat, and finally soften into the heart space. Release the whole of the body, all of the body. Let it go. start to deepen the breath. Feel the weight of your body on the mat. Gently wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes. And when you're ready, reach your arms up and over your head as you inhale. And then exhale, float them back down beside the body. If you're lying on your back, gently roll off to your right hand side. And then make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Bringing the tips of your thumbs and your forefingers together and placing your hands over your belly, breathing down into those hands in Yoni Mudra, female mudra. Taking a sense of peace and calm and serenity through with you into the rest of your week or your day. Taking a sense of peace and calm and serenity through with you into the rest of your day. Bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. Bringing them to the forehead for clarity of thought and an open mind. And to the lips for clarity of speech and kind speech. And to the heart for an open heart. Om Shanti. Om Peace. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you enjoy that feeling of increased flexibility and space and openness in the hips. Stay tuned for class 3, which is going to be about strengthening the body. Very dynamic poses. And I'll see you then.